Okay, welcome back guys. Lesson 4. We're moving into multiplication today and we're multiplying whole numbers by powers of 10. So here I've got a basic place value chart, and if I write the number 6 here in the ones column, if I then multiply that by 10, the 6 you'll notice moves from the ones up one place value to the tens and becomes 60. So if I was to multiply 6 by 100, it becomes 600. So as we said, it's multiplying by powers of 10. 10 times 6, 60. 100 times 6, 600. 1000 times 6, yes, you're right, 6000. So our place value system is based on multiples of 10, and these multiples work as powers of 10. So if I was to multiply 8 by 10, it becomes 80. 80 by 10 again, 800. 800 by 10 again, 8000. 10 times 10 times 10 is that 1000. So 80 is 10 times larger than 8. 800 is 10 times larger than 80. And 8000 is 10 times larger than 800. So each place is 10 times bigger than the place to its right. Okay, so I'm just going to take us out of this for a moment and call up something else, a number slider, and demonstrate how this works. And you might have access to this one if you've got the online materials. So here's the number slider. And if I start with, say, 12 up the top, so I've entered 12 up here, and I can decide whether I multiply or divide it, and then whether I multiply or divide by 10, 100 or 1000. So to see the effect of multiplying 12, I'll update my slider. So there's our 12, 1 in the tens and 2 in the ones. And if I apply this function, it means I'm multiplying it by 10. 10 times 12, 110, 20. Multiply by 10 again, 1200. Multiply by 10 again, 12,000. And so each time I multiply by 10, it pushes it one place value larger. Similarly, I can divide by 10. So if I start applying this function, it will move it down one place value. At the moment on screen is 12,000 divided by 10, 1,200. 1,200 divided by 10, 120. And I can keep going. And in fact, 12 is my starting number, but if you divide that by 10 again, it'll still have the same effect of moving the numbers to the right or moving the decimal to the left. 1 and 2/10, apply it again, 0.12 or 12 hundredths. So I can change my number. I'll get rid of 12 and let's say I start with 130. Update my slider. I'm going to multiply by 100 this time. This time it's gone up 2 places. Notice the ones here. If I multiply by 100 again, it'll go up 1, 2 places. So it'll go into the millions. And there we go. 1,300,000. So if I divide by 10, it's going to go down one place. Divide by 100, 2 places. Divide by 1,000, 3 places. So let's see. I'm predicting if this moves 3 places, 1, 2, 3. So I'll have a 1 in the ones and a 3 here. Let's apply divide by 1,000 and see if I'm right. And there we go. So there's a quick demonstration on how the number slider works. Okay, and that's something if you've got access to that you can have a bit of a go at. All right, let's go back to our PowerPoint. So I'm going to multiply. Actually, I'm going to get you to do this exercise. So 42 is going to be multiplied by 10, multiplied by 100, and multiplied by 1,000. Same with each of these. So just complete this table here at the moment and see how you go. So pause the video and complete that table. Right, let's see whether your answers agree. When I multiply 42 by 10, I come up with 420. 42 times 100, 4,200. 42 times 1,000, 42,000. You will notice that as each power of 10 increases here, each of these numbers moves one place value larger, and you've got 1 0, 2 zeros, 3 zeros. Similarly, when we multiply 378 by each of those powers of 10, 1 0 added, 2, then 3, 3,780, 37,800, 378,000, and finally, it works for all numbers. So it doesn't matter if it's a 2-digit number, a 3-digit number, or a 4-digit number, it'll still work. All right, exercise 5 there is set out a little differently. Pause the video and have a go at that. Okay, I'm very confident that you got these right. Let's check how you went. 56 times 100, 5,600. 608 times 1,000, 608,000. Now, if we're in class at the moment, I'd say put up your hand if you agree, and hopefully all of you are agreeing with me here. 38 times 10, 380. 210 times 100, multiplied by 100. I'm predicting that it's going to add 2 extra zeros, so 210, followed by 2 more zeros, 21,000. There you go. All right, so what I really want you to notice when you're multiplying numbers by 10 is that, well, in this particular case, there is a 10 in here, but it's not just straight 10. It's a power of 10 or a multiple of 10, 40. But you can use your basic facts with multiples of 10. And so I want you to think and notice what basic facts are hidden in there. In 8 times 40, the basic fact 8 times 4 is in there. And 8 times 4, as we know, is 32. So we can actually split that 40 into its factors of 4 times 10. Over here you can see that, 4 times 10. And that allows me to do it in 2 parts, 8 times 4 times 10. In fact, that's one of the properties of multiplication. You could multiply those 3 numbers in any order and come up with the same answer. 8 times 4 is 32, 32 times 10, 320. That follows on from what we were doing. But you could go 8 times 40, 320. You go 8 times 10 is 80, 4 80s is 320. So it doesn't matter the order. It allows me to split them up into an order that suits. All right, here's some for you to work on. So, can you see the hidden number fact in there? Use your knowledge of the basic facts or your number facts and work these out. For example, here I can see 7 times 8 as my number fact. So I'm going to go 7 times 8 times 100 and then come up with my answer. Work through each of these 4, pause the video, see how you go. All right, now let's see how well you did. 7 times 800, as I said before, you can see the number fact 7 times 8 plus 100. So we'll do the 7 times 8 as a number fact first because we know our number facts. 7 8s are 56, 56 multiplied by 100, 2 zeros here, 2 zeros here, 5,600. 3,000 times 5 is based on 3 times 5. 3 times 5 is 15, 15 times 1,000, 15,000. 50 times 6, it's based on 5 times 6. 5 6s are 30, multiply by 10, 300. And the number fact for the last one, 9 times 300. I hope you realised it was 9 times 3, 27. 27 times 100, 2,700. Check your work and pause if you need to before moving on. All right. So this one steps it up a little bit because I have powers of 10 in both of the numbers we're multiplying, but the same principle works. There is still a basic number fact hidden in there. 60 times 30 is based on 6 times 3. I can split the 60 and the 30 up. That property, as I was talking about before, is called the commutative law. And it means basically we can rearrange those factors and multiply them out and it'll still come up with the same answer. So if I was to rearrange it as 6 times 3 and 10 times 10, 10 times 10 is going to multiply out by 100. So over here where I'm recording 60 times 30, I break 60 up in 6 times 10, I break 30 up, that's 3 times 10, then I can multiply them out in an order that suits me. 6 3s are 18, 10 10s are 100, 18 times 100, 1,800. 4 for you to do. I can see 4 times 7 in A. What do you see in B? Hopefully you see 6 times 4. All right. It'll stay on screen as you pause it. Use this section here to help you as a guide. All right, pause the video now and work through those 4 examples for me. Okay, let's see what you've done. 40 is 4 times 10, 77 times 10. I can rearrange those. 4 times 7 and 10 times 10. 28 times 10 is 2,800. There's the next one. This time you'll notice 6 4s are 24, but 1 2 3 zeros, 1 2 3 zeros. It's a little bit like a shortcut, I suppose. 5 6s are 30. And then 1 2 3 4 more zeros, 30, and 1 2 3 4 5 zeros altogether, 300,000. So it doesn't really matter how big it's getting. You should be able to use the same process. 2 times 9 is the number fact this is based on. 2 9s, 18. That one's times 10, that one's times 1,000. 10 lots of 1,000, of course, is 10,000. So 18 lots of 10,000 is 180,000. All right. Moving into more of a problem-solving type. Simply the numbers here are getting larger. So you can use your calculator if you need to. I reckon you're going to be clever enough to use without. So a car park has room for 135 cars on each level and there are 20 levels. So record your number sentence there and work it out. And the second one, 300 boxes of matches, each containing 78 matches. How many matches would that be ordered altogether? Pause the video and work these ones out. All right, 135 times 20. Broken up into my number sentences. Manner, behave. That's my dog about to go off. She's growling at somebody walking past. Okay, let's ignore her. How did you go on that one? Did you get 2,700? Again, 2 times 135 isn't all that hard. If you need to use your calculator, that's fine, but some of you will be able to do that as a mental strategy too. And 300 times 78, 3 times 78 times 100, you can break that up even further. 3 times 70, 210, 3 times 8, 24, so that's 234, which I'm going to multiply by 100, and of course you can see that 234 is written in both, those digits appear in both. It's only the place value that changes. Multiply by 100 pushes the 2 place values higher. 23,400. All right, a little bit of a smile time. 1 lot of 4 is 4, 2 lots of 4 are 8, 3 lots of 4 is 12, 4 by 4 is a truck. Well, there you go. If I had 5 apples and 5 oranges in one hand, and 6 apples and 7 oranges in the other hand, what would you have? Very large hands. Didn't say these were good. All right. Why did the boy do multiplication problems on the floor? His teacher told him not to use tables. Oh dear, they found it funny at least. I wonder if you did. All right, guys, done for today. Thank you again. Enjoyed working with you. All right, see ya.